Hey guys, it's me Ray Rose coming back at you with another video. And funny thing about this one, so we're gonna be talking about Megan Thee Stallion today. And I actually recorded a video about her previously. It's just that it went on a bit too long. You know, it was like 40 something minutes, and I was thinking like, who's gonna talk 40 something minutes about Megan Thee Stallion if she's not doing something really outrageous? So we're gonna talk about her SNL performance, and basically the gist of her performance is focusing around protecting black women, right? But she's doing it through the Savage remix that she did with Beyonce, which is funny. It shows you how Beyonce is above every one of these bitches, because she didn't even turn up for that shit. She was just like, bitch, you know to record my voice. If you ain't got a mill, I ain't showing up. SNL is beyond me. So I want to highlight how I think it's a bit dangerous for black men, black people in general, but this really is a dig at black men. And I know what you're thinking. Black women should be protected. Ray, how can you be thinking something like this? Like, do you not want to protect black women? And to that I answer, I do, but I don't. And I feel like there's some black women we need protection from. But I'm gonna get into it more as the video goes on. So let's just check out the performance to see what we got going on. Also, Chris Rock looks like he's deep in the sunken place right now. Super deep. He looks like a Pookie really made it out the hood.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay, so in the video, this is debate. This whole scene is the main reason why my last video, it was so long, because I had to give a lot of exposition as to what the hell is going on with this. So short thing short, if you want to really understand things about like Satanism and Pan and Bahamut and Baal and stuff like that, you should go to Chronicles of Judah 144 either on his YouTube channel or subscribe to him on Patreon if you like his YouTube. He's really informative about these things. Just look up like Satan or dark magic or anything with Chronicles of Judah 144, and you get the gist of things. But what we got going on is the black, white, and red patterning and color theming that is I guess it's pretty essential to the visual display of Pan or Baal or Tammuz or wherever you like to call them. And it's kind of clear to me because of that red hair choice that they went with. It fits. And another thing that fits is the Ordo Alkeo stylization of this. You have the lines, you have some of these lines which look very fluid and like they could flow in with each other, and then you got a mix mash of, like, you see on this right corner, I don't even know what that is right there. That's just lazy. And on the right corner again is someone uniform, and then you got words on the left, and then you got words here in the middle. And it's like it's ordered chaos that you can see on the screen. It's quite frankly a bit confusing, and that's what it's meant to do. It's saying, it's meant to deduce you. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching that says protect black women in the back, but because this order of chaos, order out of chaos, a lot of people are probably not going to understand what the hell they're looking at back there. They're not going to catch that first glance. So if they basically are probably forcing people to take another look at this. Anyways, let's continue.
I'm a savage, attitude nasty, talk big, but my bank account match it. Hood, but I'm classy, rich, but I'm ratchet. Haters kill my name in their mouth, now they gagging. Bougie. He say the way that thing move is a movie. I told that boy we gotta keep it lowly, me the room key.
Okay, so definitely not gonna watch the whole of this. But you could basically, if you don't know who Megan Thee Stallion is, she's a rapper, and this song tells you everything you need to know about her. People act like, oh no, you need to listen to her other music and everything like that to really get a good. No, this is what she's about. It don't matter how deep she ever gets with anything, unless she starts like doing like, introspective music for a while, and her whole gist is being sexy. But she's not really sexy to me. It's just sexual. There's a difference between, in my opinion, being a really, truly sexy chick and just being a really sexual chick that says like a lot of nasty things. So yeah, and my biggest concern, and this is where my concern comes for the black men, is like The theme she's going with is protect black women, but the song is not even about protecting black women. The song is not even about black people. It's just about sexual degeneracy. You know, it's not the right time and place for that. It's just like it doesn't. This is better off for a like sex worker campaign kind of thing than it is for talking about protecting black women. And another part of the issue for this for me is the disingenuousness of it. It is really horrible that she would say, okay, and then let me get this straight. It's okay to make a campaign like protect black women and everything like that, right? Like, I'm okay with that, and I'm pretty sure she genuinely means it from her heart. I don't think she wants to see black women or any black people, for that matter, in a precarious situation. But in today's society, and you can tell by the music that the one they went with, they could have at least written some original and premiered something, to make it mean more, or something risky to put herself at risk. I do know this is directed at black men, because you got to think about it. No black women, I'm gonna tell you now, you gotta stop expecting other races and men to just genuinely care about you. Okay, they don't care about each other. They don't care about each other's own women unless it's like the sexually domineer or the few percent that date out. That's just not how the world works. It will never work, and you might as well die if you think it's gonna work like that, because that's not how things go. Okay, and you guys know that. I'm pretty sure some of you at least have an inkling. You just hope that Chad texts you back. But in the end, the only people who are going to protect black women are black men. So this is centered at us black men. And the issue I take with that is, dude, the whole protecting black women is a stereotype of black men. Do people not understand this? Do people not really understand this? Like the whole, what you say about my mama? You know how black men are considered like really hyper protective of their mothers and things like that. That doesn't come from nowhere. That's a protect black woman mindset. And in fact, a lot of people can consider black men so overprotective of their mamas. Like, let's look at the scene from Menace to Society. Let's see if I can find it. Menace to Society. What you say about my mama? Okay, now let's look here. Let's check this out. This Menace to Society, this movie from, I think, about 1992, 1993. And, about some boys in the hood. Whoops, let me turn this on.
You ain't gotta be creeping.
So on the scene, excuse me for the quality. This quality's horrible, but, I'm just using an example. Can I make it better?
Always think we're gonna steal something.
Yeah, no, I can't. This from 14 years ago. So, they ain't here doing nigga stuff. And Asian people's like, what's going on? Like, can y'all get out of here? Because, O-Dog is being O-Dog.
I don't sorry for your mother.
Now, listen to this.
Stand, John. I feel sorry for your mother.
What you say about my mama?
Now, check this out, right? The black women are so overprotected that this dude is insulting him. He's not insulting his mother. He is literally saying, I feel sorry for your mom, which means, like, I feel sympathy with your mother, actually. I actually have an inkling of care for your mother because you're such a horrible person, But he takes it as an insult towards his mother. He's so ready to go to arms over his mother. He just mentioning his mom in an insult about him, it just don't compute to him.
You feel sorry for who?
I don't want any trouble. Just get out.
The fuck you say about my mama?
I don't want any trouble. Just get out.
See?
You got so sex.
Yep. And honestly, if we being for real, that movie perfectly encapsulates how many black men feel about their mothers. I know very few black men where if you touch their mother, they won't do something about it. Like pretty much every black guy I know, if you were to hit my grandmama, my mama, my wife, any one of these women, you might not make it, dog. Let's be for real. We all know black women with plenty of black male family members. It don't matter if they broke. It don't matter if they rich. There are a lot of black women out here where if you lay a hand on them, you're gonna catch some hands, okay? That's a simple matter of fact. And again, I need to reiterate, I am okay with the message of protect black women. I'm very okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is the disingenuousness of it. Because I know the people, it'd be different if the people preaching it, like, did it as more so just awareness, just like a reminder. But I know with the social climate and the Twitter climate that we live in, it's basically saying black men ain't shit. You don't do none for us. We need protection because we're not safe. It makes no sense at all. Because for one, in the black community, let's just be honest, most of the men and women are raised by women. And I understand it's also on the guys for leaving. But hey, the women, they're the ones, they're raising the kids, you know? And when you have kids, the thing about having kids is you do everything at any cost, and there's no excuses. There's no excuses. There really isn't, unless you know everything's out of your control. But if you can control yourself and provide for the child, you don't have an excuse. So the dad leaves. That's just a sad fact of life. You know, that's just how it goes. And if black women really feel like they need protection, then maybe you just need to raise your kids better. And if you don't have the family that can protect you, but you got some sons and stuff like that, I mean, raise your sons up to protect you. And that's actually what ends up happening a lot. But it ends up happening in the vein of an old dog, where he's so emotionally and intellectually unfit that he really, like, man, say anything about you. And, you know, that's another point to touch on. Like, black women are so. Let's start with black men. Well, you know where I'm going with this. Black women are overprotected by black men because a lot of black men, if you say something really bad about their mother, they'll beat your ass. They won't just take it as this dude's just saying whatever. I know who my mama is. I'm secure in her and myself. They will just beat your ass if you say your mama's a hoe. Stuff like that. Black men do not tolerate disrespect towards their mother. That is something that everyone knows for a fact, to the point it's a stereotype. So that alone just shows that yes, black women definitely protected. But if we want to take it deeper, we could say also in court systems, in under the vein of white supremacy, you know, like black women, they have a lot of liberties that keep them protected. You know, the social welfare, they're big recipients of that. When it comes to, you know, in the course, like, you know, if a black woman really takes a dude to court, maybe for like abuse and stuff, generally, she's going to come away the victor. I say generally, I know there's the exceptions, but in generally, you've got the advantage when it comes to that. You've also got the advantage when it comes to, you know, custody of kids and everything like that, you know, and also job advantage. You know, black women are pretty protected in this country. You're not like black women in more, I wouldn't say developing countries, but more technologically uncolonized or whatever. Yeah, third world, I guess. I can't think of anything else to call it. Countries, you know, where it's kind of like it could be all out season on a woman for any reason. American women, in as a whole, are protective. Of black women, if you truly are not in a situation where like you have nobody to rely on and you got no security, then you're probably protected. I mean, it's just that's just, even my friends, even my friend in Tallahassee. If you smack her ass, if you smack her around, I know there's a few guys that's not even in her family. I know she got friends that will mess you up. Okay, so when we say protect black women, make sure you say it like as something to just be aware of in our mind and as a teaching moment. Do not say this as a response to your anecdotal, you know, dealings and making people think that black men haven't been protecting black women just because Megan got shot. I mean, shit. She will keep protecting Tory by not coming through or anything. And it's like, it's not like it's a no snitching situation. The dude shot you and you're not a gangster, so what's the dealio? But there's another part of this I wanted to get to. Let's see where this part comes from. Where Beyonce. She just said, I keep a 9 and keep a watch. So, I mean, well, if you keep a 9, baby, I mean, protect yourself. Why can't that be the slogan? Black women, protect yourself. You know? I mean, because, well, a lot of people can say in retaliation, they don't really feel the whole protect black women thing. It could be like, Well, this just shows your dependency as women, you know. So, are you gonna admit that men are superior? You know, it creates a whole rabbit hole of things. But where's Beyonce's part?
Classy, stupid, was happy. Dance on that demon time. She might start her OnlyFans.
Now, listen, man, I just want to point this out. It's not going to be the main focus of the video. I might do a deeper in depth on this. But you notice how when Beyonce says demon time, they immediately get on all fours like they're some wild raving beast. You know, they just look like some beasts. And, you know, this image right here, you need to burn this image in your head. Black women, even if you guys weren't protected, this is probably one of the worst ways you could try to gain from it. Like, it's just so sickening. You got protect black women up there, and this is a screen grab. These women just pointing their butts at they can't. I hate this twerk culture we got. They look like animals. They're on demon time. These women are animals. I mean, I understand the performers and they're dancing and they're just, you know, the girls are trying to make a buck, and you know, Megan, she's an entertainer now. This is what she does. But this makes you look like an animal. They look like animals. They look like some dogs, horny and heat. Just and I hate how, and it's just so weird, right? Like, it's definitely weird to be a man because you're living in this society where you're getting things beat in your head like protect black women, me too. But then like you know, a lot of the famous black, like when it comes to entertainers and personalities, they're showing their ass at you. You could be friends with a couple girls and they've got OnlyFans. It's like it's confusing. It's just chaos. It's just like why are women getting so incredibly sexual but expecting men to treat them like they're non-sexual women who are a bit more like, you know, I wouldn't even say classy, just couth, or they cover, I don't know, but just they're just not as excited and active, you know, because the funny thing is, like, Megan expects you to respect her as a woman, which I do. I could respect her well-being, her humanity as a woman, but what I'm just not going to respect is just like her image. You know, she presents herself as a whore, and this is what this is. This is whoredom. You know, they're literally having ass worship, and you know, this is why people think black women are just like sexual crazy beasts and stuff. Cause just look at this. This is the image that we got to portray. White women don't have this image. When white women do stuff like this, it's on TikTok and it may be like a viral thing for Twitter. But when it comes to like something like a VMA, it's like, okay, sure, Miley Cyrus is doing it, but like then after Miley Cyrus, I mean, how many other white women were just twerking like that or just being really obsessed with their ass on stage? You know, they try to make them look classier with their sexual performances and everything. And this right here is just, it's depressing. It's just like, you're like protect black women, but you're shaking your ass. It's like, why would I want to protect you? If anything, I'd stick it in, do my thing, and leave. There's nothing, you're not really worth protecting. I mean, if you really think about it, throughout history, whores, prostitutes, the name of the game is not being protected. You know, they've never been protected. You know, that's always gone on. That's why violence against prostitutes is something that would never succeed, because that's just the nature of things. That's just how things work.
And that B stand for bands. If you wanna see some real baby, here's your chance. I say left cheek, right cheek, drop it low and swing.
Like, drop a load and swing, but you want to protect black women. It doesn't make any sense. And now here we're going to finish it off with why this basically made me lose all respect for Megan Thee Stallion, and she's a whore. And honestly, I mean, to be quite frank, I don't want her to succeed much after this, because, hey, you got to be on code. Black people, you need codes, and to have code, that means you got to have really harsh opinions against people who break this code.
The most disrespected, unprotected, neglected person in America is the black woman. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair?
Okay, now two things, because, you know, I just want to end it here, because I get really angry every time I hear this part. For one, if you don't know who that is, that's Malcolm X in a soundbite from an interview that he did. I can't remember if it was a 63 or 67, because I also can't remember when he died, but it was near the end of his death. And Listen, people, when Malcolm said that, the black woman was different, okay, back then. The black woman was generally married at a certain time. The black woman was more traditional. Black women then would not imagine, only a few would not imagine doing the things black women do today. Women in general. Now it was the 60s and this is the start of things. But back then, because I think I read some statistics. The black family structure, black people were gaining wealth and families up until the 60s, and then after the 60s, mainly in the 70s, that's when things started to fall off a cliff. And all our innovations and everything, we started to subsede, and we started to stagnate. Basically, the 60s was the last hurrah for black people, and black women back then were way more conservative. And just the look that she has now, it would, of course, women are interested in things that are pretty and whatnot, so they would be like, ooh, but if you try to put that on them, they would be like, oh my god, this, yeah, because even bathing suits, back then they were just kind of started to do two pieces. That still wasn't really too big for women back then. They were more covered. And it's so ironic too that they had the piece about who taught you to hate the natural texture of your hair, but look at how you guys look. It's order out of chaos. This is the thing about when you pay attention to entertainers. Just look at her face. She's trying to look like solemn and mad and upset. She just looks like a robot. All these women look like robots. The thing about entertainment is it's scripted. It's mostly scripted. The only entertainment that ain't really scripted is sports, and half the time that has illegal betting and fixing and point shaving, so that's even scripted. This stuff is scripted, and Megan has nothing to lose from this. I've been reading Black Power lately, by Kwame Ture, and a part that he puts in there is that in black communities, he mainly talked about politicians, but this now does extend to entertainers too. That these politicians and whatnot, they act like they're doing things for the community, but they understand that there are certain things that they do, they'll lose their positions and whatnot, and they basically use that as a crux to say, no, I can't do this because I'm gonna get fired. And that's exactly what Megan, the situation she's in. She's doing whatever they tell her to. There's nothing she has to lose. If she has something to lose, I could support this. And it's not saying that I want her to lose things, because to be honest, like, we live in a society now where if people you don't need big business to really support you. You really should depend on people. Because I'll also use something from Niccolo Machiavelli in The Prince. He states how incredibly important it is for a prince to for his army to be within his own state and from his own people, and that's why it's important for his people to have control of their arms, because your best army is going to come from within. So even if she did something, she got dropped for her label and everything, we black people, we are our own army. We should be our own estate. We should be supporting each other, and bear arms for each other, figuratively and literally. So she all of the things that she's doing, this is just a performance. And the thing is, SNL is mainly watched by white people. They're not gonna care. Black people are not. Black people don't be watching SNL like that. Come on, let's be real. Especially like SNL now. They don't have near the kind of personalities and comedians to get me interested. Because if this is the '90s, I'd definitely be watching SNL. But now, there's nothing to watch it for. And yeah, so that's the gist of things. And I think black women, you need to, and black men, but mostly black women, because this new thing is aimed at you. Don't listen to Megan Stallion. I'm gonna just be frank, she's a whore, and you can disagree with me about that and say, what does that have to do with anything? That's just how I feel about it. She doesn't have a real opinion of her own. She's just working for, it's funny. We black people love to say, it's the man and white supremacy. But this is the music industry. That's white supremacy at its finest. And that's the man at his best work. The music industry has had their foot on black people's necks forever. And every innovation that people make to have artists be more in control of their music, they figure out a way to be on top of that. So she's really just working for the same people she's trying to get a message out to. In a way, she's not protecting black women. Black women understand that. Megan is not helping you be protected. She is aiding in the unprotecting of you. She is trying to make it look like you guys are whores, which is generally going to drive off a lot of men and make a lot of men have negative opinions on you guys and the whole society of where black women reside. It's just not good for you. You know, this is not the way to go about it. This is a false. This is a sham. This is a lie. This is Satanism. This is, you know, it's we're beyond everything just being art, quote unquote, or just entertainment. Because socially, humans have devolved to the point where we need to see people on TV performing just to have a strong opinion and to feel something. And when people go on Twitter, you know, people also like to say Twitter's just a small sector of the population. But when it comes to women, women are just very impressionable and they take things online pretty seriously, in my opinion. And a viral tweet on Twitter gets viral on Facebook and Instagram. Now, you know, you're affecting millions and millions of impressionable minds to act like and be Megan Thee Stallion. You know, this is not good for our community, and we've got to, you know, the ones of us who know, the black people on the code and on the purpose, they understand what she's trying to do, and we're not going to fall victim to that. We're not going to listen to what she has to say, because she doesn't have black women's interest at heart. And I know she probably thinks she does, and, you know, I could commend that, because, you know, at least you're trying, Meg. You're not doing it right. You know, what I'm doing, what guys like BGS Igmore and what guys like even Donovan Sharp, or guys like Chronicles of Judah, we're doing what we can to protect black women, because we are trying to give you guys knowledge. We're not trying to control you, but we're trying to guide you, provide guidance for the ones that want to listen, because we don't want you guys to end up having a stressful life because you want to follow Babylonian tactics. You know, I'm trying to protect you guys by using my voice and giving you reference. You know, that's my way of doing it. Because again, I know for damn sure I don't know hardly any black woman that don't got some kind of protection. So anyways, that's it for the video. I did what I wanted to do. I cut this thing by about 20 minutes. And yeah, just remember, don't just see with your eyes, see with your soul.